Around about this time last year, I spent more than $1,000 on Uber Eats, sitting in bed, binging food. Like, I kid you not, I was having like 4,000 calories by the time it was like 9 a.m. Right? It was a horrible, horrible time of life. And yes, this is no word of a lie. I literally sat in bed for 2 weeks, took mental health leave off work, and spent all that time binging food, racking up close to $1,000 in that process. McDonald's, fancy pastries, fancy burger shops, pizza restaurants, you name it, it went into those orders. What I would do is cocoon myself in my room, wait for the knock on the door, quickly run out, guilty as charged, pick up my order, and then run back into my room. At this time, I was living with housemates, they were both away with work, and I had the house to myself. No one will know, I thought. And it's true, no one did know. The only person that did was me, and of course, I was the only one to suffer the consequences of those actions. I don't even know how much weight I would have put on during that time. 10, 15, 20 kilos potentially. I very frequently felt like my legs were almost gonna fall off because just of continuous laying down. I don't know if you've ever been in a hospital bed for a few hours or a few days, but it's this weird feeling where you don't even feel like your legs work anymore. They just feel incredibly heavy and meh. But it was this point, like this actual hitting of rock bottom, where I just, it awoke something in me. I called my boss and I was like, I can no longer do this. Like, it's just, I can't run this show anymore. You know, I can't uphold this job. I don't know what's going on at the moment, but I really need to sort my shit out, basically. And I need some time to do that. And I did. And what it did was it lit this fire under my arse that, yes, I've had before. We've all had that moment where we hit rock bottom and like we want to change, and we do very drastic measures, 75 hard or whatever. But I was like, this is the one time where I'm actually going to get support. So I did. I reached out to a counsellor, I got some binge eating support, and I kid you not, I felt fixed after my first session. Between my first and second session, I binged once, and from session 2 to session 5, I didn't binge once. We now fast forward 12 months, and I don't really think I've ever had a binge in that moment of time. Yes, I've probably overate and definitely got to a point where maybe I've, you know, been a bit peckish and a bit snacky, but have I ever binged 5,000 calories in a sitting? No. And why I make this video is because of the fact that I know if I've gone through it, there's countless people that have as well. And this is to raise awareness, it's to really tell people that you're not alone in that journey, and also give you kind of an understanding of where support can come from. Now for me, my issue was not training in the gym, right? I was like strongest I'd ever been. I was still turning up to the gym. I was like forcing myself to go. I was hating that process over the, you know, that time where I was just binging consistently. My issue was more around food and my just compulsion when it came to obsessiveness around food. And I still have this to this day, guys. Like, I still crave food most of the time. Like, I still like want that extra thing, but I now have strategies and I know why I can't do that anymore and what type of person I become if I do start doing that again. So the cons way outweigh the pros. But aside from that, my issue back in the day was just food. So I got a counsellor, and you know, if you're watching this and you know that's your one struggle and that's your big issue, it's like, right, okay, perfect, go find that person. If maybe it's a bit deeper, and I don't want to just shamelessly plug myself here, but maybe you've got, you know, bigger problems than that, you know, you don't know what to do in the gym, etc. Maybe your nutrition struggles aren't as deep as mine were, and maybe you just need a bit of guidance and accountability when it comes to your training, getting the body you want. Of course, you can inquire about working with me and we can have a conversation there. But aside from that point, really what I want this video to be is vulnerability, me like showing this actual realistic side of myself, this honest side of myself, because like in this day and age, people just don't do that, particularly creators online and influencers and people that, you know, have a big following. But again, to show that, you know, there is support out there, people can get better, and I am living proof of that. So yeah, like I feel like I do.